everybody?
Living the dream.
You guys are almost as bad as the kids. When you ask them like how they are, and like a grunt or a groan. I get it, it's Friday. First thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna go back to these that you guys did last week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago on essential standards and essential skills. So we're gonna give this back to you that you did, and the follow-up is on the purple paper. Okay? Basically what you're gonna do is look at the SMART goal that you made for yourself and reflect on if you met it, if you didn't, what do you need to do about it? And if you did meet it, what went well with it? It's pretty self-explanatory. And then we'll review essential standards and essential skills. And then you'll get with your grade level, which we've divided you into for those of you who do several grade levels, which is most of you anyways. We divided. Did you bring the... You did? You're so prepared.
I took a picture.
Oh, okay. We'll divide you up after that. But before we do that, let's dive back into these, and we'll give you 20 minutes? 20 minutes? 15?
15.
15 minutes.
And then we'll check in and see if you need more.
Yep.
Nobody is judging if you did not meet your SMART goal.
Right.
So.
This is an exercise. It's not a test. If that makes sense. And we're gonna test. I'm gonna take one of these and pass around. Start over here.
I was gonna pause.
Take one of these and pass around. Okay. So Rylan helped us with the difference between essential standards and essential skills. So what I want you to start thinking of in terms of essential skills, we've done a lot of work on essential standards already. You guys know them. You already know the ones that are the most important. We've talked about them. We've cut them out. We've pasted them into a progression. I mean, we've talked about essential standards a ton. We haven't talked about essential skills as much, but that is going to become a little bit more of the focus because you're already like content experts, content meaning standards. We're going to move into skills, and not that you're not a skills expert, but we're going to start looking at our students through the lens of what essential skills do they need and I'll just use 9th grade as an example, as a 9th grader in math 1, in math 9, English 9, is it geography here in 9th grade? Geography as a 9th grader, earth science as a 9th grader, and so on and so forth, right? What do they need what is the thread that is going to allow them to master X skill across the content, right? So I'm going to use compare and contrast just because it came up twice already. The skill is compare and contrast. In 9th grade, they may compare and contrast to works, literary works. In 9th grade English. In Math 1, they might compare and contrast.
They compare and contrast linear and exponential functions.
See, yes. In earth science, we just heard they might. Well, that's not earth science, right? But your thing. But in earth science, they might compare and contrast.
Carbon, how it flows amongst the different spheres.
In 9th grade, I know you don't teach it, but right, you don't teach 9th grade geography. Oh, you do. Okay, so they might compare and contrast.
Africa from Russia.
Perfect. Okay. So what we did there is we saw the skill that ran through the grade level with an individualized or a content specific standard. My Friday brain. Okay. So we're going to start looking at something that we're going to work on today is generating a list in your grade level PLC that has the essential skills needed for that grade level. Does that make sense? And my special ed team, you're not exempt because we need you and your help about what though what our special ed kiddos need, like from the bottom up, to help support them as well. What essential skills? Okay, so this handout. Let me go back to it because I jumped ahead of myself without really meaning to. It talks about essential standards. Again, we've already talked about that quite a lot. If you look on the back, the essential skills side of the handout, you'll find like the characteristics of the essential skills. They are cross-curricular, which we just talked about, right? It's something you'll see in English and in Math 1 and in Geography and in Earth Science. You'll see that it also develops over time. So from 9th grade, you'll build on that essential skill for 10th grade and so on and so forth, okay? We don't have the same exact essential skills for all 9th graders and all 10th graders and 11th graders and 12th graders. At least I hope not, because that means they're standing still. They support the mastery of the standard, right? Because that's kind of like when you think about it through the lens of DOK, it gets harder and harder, right? We start with like definitions, and then we move into explanations, and then we move into evaluating, and then we move into comparing, and so on. So there is a progression of sorts that comes with it, and it's we assess it through a performance task of sorts. Okay, so essential skills is going to be the lens you are going to look through with your grade level PLC in a moment. But don't move yet. And I gave you some examples there. If you see the high school examples, these are some of the examples, and we even talked about some of them already, of what essential skills could be. This is not a complete list. This is not a comprehensive list. It is just an example list. And then if you look at the side-by-side comparison, it helps you to really see the difference between a standard, essential standard, and essential skill. Again, if we think about standards, think about your content. And if we think about skills, you think about like how they can do that skill across curricular. It's not specific to math. Comparing isn't specific to math. Evaluating isn't specific to English, and so on. Questions about the difference between essential skills and essential standards? I'm curious, if you look at the essential skill you chose for the purple activity, well, it's not purple activity, but the purple follow-up activity, the essential skill you chose, do you still think it's an essential skill after we talk again about the comparison between what the difference between a skill and a standard? Would you choose it again? I guess is the way you would ask this. Would you choose it again? You wouldn't. Do you mind sharing? Thank you for being brave.
I would do something less specific.
Okay. Yep.
More generalized, which I did, because we did this, and then the next week we like listed more skills, and I did more generic stuff.
Yeah. This is a learning process. Yes.
I would select mine 100 times over.
Okay. Tell me why.
It's compare and contrasting. We're literally doing it right now, and we're adults.
Yeah.
We already went through high school, but we're still using that skill.
Yep.
So I think that's an incredibly important skill for students.
And I think it's a great way to even look at, as we continue through this process, of how we choose, what we choose, right? You don't want to choose something that once they leave, and we were talking about something, what were we talking about yesterday that we're like, we'll never use this ever again? Do you remember? Don't look at me like that. We had a conversation. Josh, what did we say yesterday? What was the thing we talked about yesterday that we're like, we'll never use this thing. They'll never use this skill ever again. Do you remember?
Logarithms?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's teaching that? Are you teaching that?
It comes up in that.
It's so rude. We never use them ever
I know,
again.
but it's still tested on the ACT sometimes. I'm not kidding. Like,
Who uses those? Is anybody in this? Do you use them? You're a math person. Trey, do you use them? You're a math person. Do you use them in your real life?
No, but finance people do.
Okay, fair.
yeah,
Okay,
they
fair.
really do.
Fair.
Like, because they're trying to figure out, because it's basically how long is it gonna take me to reach this thing? So like anyone who's investing,
Okay.
or like so anyone who's like doing those things, like they know.
Okay. All right, fine. Maybe some people will, right? Maybe some people will, but man.
Some people will need one skill, like, and it may just be for that specific job. Now, is every other, like, are all other 500 or whatever jobs, gonna need it? No, but the one will. And if they don't learn it, where are they gonna learn it?
Do you have a retirement account? Like,
I guess,
Oh, yeah.
if
Any
you- I have a
retirement
401k now. I've never touched logarithms before, but now I.
But now you are using them. You really are. You're just not using the vocabulary, maybe. But that's an important. That's like an example of something we probably wouldn't choose for the purposes of these conversations because it's so specific, right? And that's totally fine. Not a big. I like that you. I like the non-example. I actually really appreciate it. So, anybody else would choose something different that they realize now, like, oh, this is not quite broad enough, or maybe it's too specific, or I wouldn't choose this again. Any takers? No takers. Okay. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go into groups.
Okay, you ready?
We're gonna have to break out here. Oh, as a caveat, let me stop before you're like, well, what happened to 11th and 12th grade? Well, unless all of you would like to serve in 2 PLCs, we're gonna focus on 9th grade and 10th grade for right now, for today's purposes. Again, because the size of the group is number one, but also for the most part, we've discovered that everybody, and I'm gonna use the word touches, and I'm sorry, but everybody touches some 9th graders or 10th graders in some way. I know it's such an icky way to say it, but you get the point.
Besides the 2 that aren't here, so.
I know, but we have already.
And plans for them.
We do have plans for them.
They co-teach.
They co-teach in some way, a 9th or 10th grade.
Oh, they do co-teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
And-
my one. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And if we're being honest, they're tested grades, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Womp womp. And also, like for 12th graders, that's a very specific, almost like next level set of skills because we're like trying to get them out of here and launch into life. So, again, we're going to look through the lens of 9th grade and 10th grade. We have put you into your grade level PLC. Also, I should say, because not everybody's here, we're like jumping ahead a step in the PLC process that you will then have to revisit because the first step of any PLC is to norm and assign roles, and we can't do that without every single person's participation. So we will step back and do that when everybody is present, but we're not doing it today because we don't have their input, and we need it because they're important. So instead, we're going to hop forward a step today, and we're going to put you into, again, 9th grade and 10th grade PLCs, and then once you are with your people, we'll give you the next step.
Okay, 9th grade is Scott, Stephanie, Karen, Julia, Chelsea, and Rylan. That fails 10. And then Dylan, Trey, Jessica, Dawn, Katie, Alicia.
It's 10th grade. Okay. If you could please, I don't care if like 9th grade's over there or 10th grade's over here, but get with your team and then we'll go on to the next step.
Where did you say?
Doesn't matter. You guys decide. I don't care. Just one side or the other. I can, Sarah. Is this 9th grade? Are you here 9th
Right
grade?
here.
10 years ago.
That's my
Ten-
decision.
Oh,
Oh, well then we should move the.
Or we'll just go to you, because she has stuff in the middle.
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pull
I-
up chairs
you
over
can.
here.
Let's move the-
9th grade can pull up chairs over there. Steel chairs from the middle.
It's not my fault. Jessica keeps forgetting to hit the record button. Your job is to brainstorm, grade level specific essential skills. grade level specific essential skills. Will there be some crossover?
Sure, probably.
I hope so. Yes, there will be. But also there are some like foundational things happening in 9th grade that 10th grade should be building on, right? From a skills standpoint, not content. Okay, don't tell me about Frankenstein or factoring or worms. No worms.
I thought I hit decline, but apparently
Yeah, or hills or valleys of Africa. Okay? No content. Essential skills only, 9th grade, 10th grade specific. Questions? No questions?
Did you have those paper? When you just did the skills, the reprinted? Was it a blank sheet?
Yeah.
You know, those skills?
I will tell you though, they were not 100%.
Title color.
This?
Okay, so that's why we decided to take a step back.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I will bring them.
That's okay, I just made a whole list.
And you're gonna see highlights all over them, like we highlighted them up.
Okay.
And we, so.
Skills specific.
It comes to us.
Yay! You guys can stay where you are for the moment anyway.
You're not done with each other.
What's it? 1, 2, 3 eyes on me?
Oh.
And what's the other one? Holy moly! Guacamole, the kid says. Yeah.
They do it.
They do, yeah.
So now that you have a at least semi-comprehensive list of skills for your grade level, we're going to ask you to, as a group, collectively choose one. But let me tell you what you're going to use it for before you make a decision. You're going to choose one to apply to your own course. And we're going to go through this process of kind of like what you did 2 weeks ago, okay? Is identifying the essential skill, which is what you'll do as a group. But then kind of independently, of course, you will choose how that skill applies to whatever standard you're going to assess. You're going to go through the process of the assessment, and in not today, but the next step will be, as a group, you will create a common rubric to be able to assess that skill and standard. Does that make sense?
And it is totally doable.
And I promise you that it's not insane. I see a face to tell.
No, I'm with you.
You sure?
Yes.
Because I rather
I'm just trying to figure out how we're gonna pick the one.
Okay.
And know that you are picking the one for your people that are not here. So
Because they don't get a vote.
they don't get a vote. They're not with us today. So
But also, like for Karen, it's fine because. But here's the other thing. If you are coming up with something that you're like, oh, we already did that skill, I'm not really looping back to it because we're down to the final 9 weeks, I get that. Really try to come together and like, what am I doing over these next 9 weeks that we can all agree on is going to happen, even if it's lower, not lower level, but more like basic than maybe what you've listed. Does that make sense? I'm gonna have you pick the skill first before we give that out. You've got 5 minutes to debate the skill. Go. Okay, take two. Take two, everybody.
We have chosen as the 9th grade group to select explain as our #1 essential skill.
Thank you very much, 9th grade team. 10th grade team, you have chosen
10th grade team has chosen determine cause and effect.
determining cause and effect. Yay, yay. Okay, so if you're missing this PD and you know which group, now you know which skill you're going to focus on, depending on your grade level, depending on which grade level PLC you're in. So I'm going to hand this out. I don't want any panic attacks yet because we have to make some changes to it because again, we raced ahead, but now we're pulling back a little bit. So when you see it says courses, it's not courses, it's just one course. We have enough. Fancy, fancy. Thank you.
Because it's important.
Do we have one for Karen?
Yes, I got yours.
Who is Julius?
I have a whole pile here, so I'll take
Julius.
the rest.
And how about Dylan? You too?
Because I'm gonna write them little notes.
I knew
Okay.
I'll hold on.
Okay,
For
so
Julia.
you've just done number one. Pick one essential skill that works for the course. Everybody with me, cross out the S on the end of courses. Cross out that SS of courses, because you're only gonna do it for one course.
I don't want to do pencils.
Unless you really, really, really want to do it for all your courses.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
number one.
that's number one. And can you please write down the skill you chose? What is the skill your group just chose? And that will be, look, we're doing number one for you guys. See? Group work, teamwork. What skill is, so that's what skill is it? And you will write either explain or describe cause and effect, okay? So this is this part, you're I'm almost done. So you don't feel like you have to get it all filled in. I'm almost done. So the next part is, what standard does your skill come from? Okay, so now you're back to independent work, because we're both going back to content and essential standards, that you are going to be able to choose the essential standard from your content area, from your course, that lines up with the skill your team chose. Questions about, we didn't number them, but it's number 2-ish. No questions? Okay, so the next part I want you more to think about, like as you're going into this, you're not going to be able to answer this obviously right now because you haven't done it yet, it's not fourth quarter, but the question is, how do we ensure the assessment you give is measuring proficiency? Keep in mind that this has to incorporate skill and standard, okay? Your assessment has to do both, content and skill, standard and skill. So you can't go to, I'm just gonna make this up, but like 10th grade, you can't go to analyze the cause and effect, because that's not describing it. That's a different layer, right? It's a different level, okay? So make sure when you're assessing your students for that skill or that standard, it includes the skill. So you guys, it would be explain. It's not solve. No. You're right, it's not. So this is a really important like caveat, because I think you guys are experts at assessing standards, right? But probably haven't thought through the lens of assessing skill and standard at the same time. They have to go together. And then the last piece is, again, when you come back together, you will, as a team, build a rubric that is appropriate for this. Okay, now, you're probably saying, the rubric is gonna have to look different for math and English. Yes, of course, but the bones of it won't. Through the lens of the skill will be the same. It will vary once you, for the standard part, for the content part, but the bones of it from the skill part will be the same. Why are we doing this? And it's not because we hate you. It's not because we're trying to make more work. Why are we doing this? Oh gosh, nobody has any idea why we would do this. It's terrible.
Because you're telling us.
No, no. Because once you guys have done this for your grade levels, all the essential skills, you're done for next year and the following year and the year after that and the year after that. I mean, of course, it involves tweaking and so on, right? But it's so that when we look through the lens of PLCs, common assessments and common rubrics are essential. It gives kids the consistency they need from subject to subject, from teacher to teacher. It doesn't take away from your unique teaching style. It doesn't take away from your unique content, but it lends itself to productive conversation. It's very hard for the three of you to talk about assessing kids because you're currently only assessing them likely through the lens of content. But my guess is you have some similar kids. So now we can talk about Johnny through the lens of explaining and help Johnny if need be with he got it in math. Well, he didn't get it in geography, that's for sure. Okay, where's the breakdown? This is how good PLC schools operate. They look at data, they use common assessments and rubric. Don't panic over the common assessment part just yet, please. But it is really essential in a good functioning. Has anybody come from a PLC background where it's like PLCs is the whole way the whole school functions? Nobody? Did you?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about it?
I mean, we did grade level, we did, like.
Probably content, if there were more than one.
Level, yeah, but we did cross-curricular, 10th grade, like we had cohorts where certain kids were all in one group and we all had to talk about, okay, this student's doing well in this, this standard, but not this standard, like across curricular, kind of what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. So this is not really news to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot again. And truly, we can stop the recording if we have to, but do you think it's beneficial?
Well, yeah, I mean, I especially with specific kids, but also like specific age groups and like 10th grade where we were able to identify like specific issues that certain kids so that we could actually like the next year already be able to kind of like anticipate a lot of those issues.
That kind of like vertical look. Did you do common assessments or, and here it's hard because there's not two of the same exact class, but did you do common rubrics?
Not like they were similar.
Okay.
The wordage was slightly different based on content, but it was similar based on like the skills that we were talking about.
Okay. Did you find it helpful as a teacher?
I did. Yeah.
Useful. I mean, maybe is a good way to say it. Look, I didn't even have to stop the recording. That's pretty good. Thank you. So really, high functioning PLC schools, it really is designed for consistency. It's designed to help you as the instructor, but it's also designed to help us with the 4 essential questions of PLC so that we can help move student success forward. And for the very last part, for the bonus round, what are the 4 essential questions to all PLC? Who knows any of them? One of them starts with what? What do we want?
What are they supposed to learn?
Thank you.
How are they
How do we
supposed
know
to
they
know
learned
they
it?
learned it?
What do we do if they learned it?
What do we do if they don't know it?
What?
What do we do if they learned it? What if we do if they don't?
If they don't,
Like,
yeah. So what do we want them to learn? How do we know if they learned it? What do we do if they don't learn it? And what do we do if they don't learn it? Did I just say that?
If they do learn
Do
it,
and don't learn it. Okay, that's really what we're getting at every time we sit down together, but we have to do this root work first, which is why we took like a, whoa, Nelly, step back a second, because we have to go back to the foundation, which we will, of creating norms for these PLCs, creating roles for them, establishing what the expectations are, which is that everything we do from probably this point forward, Jess, you can correct me if wrong, is going to be data only. This isn't what I think, this isn't what I feel, this isn't how I interpret it. It's gonna be, this is the data, this is what it shows us. As you know, data doesn't lie. And that's how we move forward to help kids be successful. Okay? Questions? Comments? So maybe your next question would be, what do I do now? So this, well, obviously we just did number 1. Number 2, and how do we ensure the assessment you give is measuring proficiency? Those 2 pieces have to be completed by, what's the date, Jess?
March 9th.
March 9th. Which is when we'll come back together.
If you are not here March 9th, if you could please give it to Josh before you depart. And then just like how we talked for Karen and Dylan, just trust your members and write any notes on there because they're gonna be building your common rubric that you're gonna need to use to help in your class. So, especially if you're not gonna be here, I'm like Stephanie, Katie, as much as you can put on there, things that you don't feel confident about or that you feel more strongly about, etc. So.
One quick clarifying question. We're only making these rubrics for 9th and 10th grade right now.
Correct.
For only, yeah, I know it applied for your 9th graders too, but yours is only for 10th grade.
Right. Yes.
Yep, and for this one skill.
This one skill.
Are
Okay.
you gonna work on this rubric in
On December 9th. Or
December,
March
please.
9th? Wow.
So, yeah, so we hit some. Because this is like, we don't really. Next Friday.